It is now the 8th round of the 2025 F1 season, and for the 8th round, we come at the iconic Monaco Grand Prix. And for this race in Monaco Grand Prix, there has been a bunch of new rule changes, and I'm going to present you with the rules and also present you my predictions for this weekend. So let's just cut straight to the chase, and we'll start with the qualifying top 3. And in P3 I have got Leclerc, in P2 I have Verstappen, and in P1 I have Oscar Piastri. Now, Leclerc in P3, I feel like deep inside everyone wants a Leclerc win, but like with how the Ferraris are looking this season, I mean, we got that upgrade and the improvement at Imola, but even with the upgrades, we are not really looking to get a win, let alone a podium in Monaco this year. And with Verstappen in P2, I mean, yeah, he really showed us his pace in Imola, how good he can be if the car feels good. And we also know how good Verstappen really is around Monaco. He's one of the best drivers on the grid around Monaco, especially in qualifying. So I think P2 is going to be a comfortable podium for Max Verstappen. P1 is obviously going to go to Piastri. Piastri is obviously, in my opinion, one of the drivers that are the best around Monaco. We've also seen how good he performed in qualifying last year and also last year's race as well. In last year's qualifying, he was only 0.15 seconds behind Leclerc in P2. So this time, with Ferrari not really being able to fight for pole positions, I think this is in Oscar's hands this year, hence why he's in P1. Then we move on to the W of the day. We are gonna nominate one driver each week, and for this time I have picked Carlos Sainz. And I mean, given the past, he has always actually been pretty good around Monaco, and with how he has been starting to find his feet actually in Williams, and also with how the Williams has been improving, I think we are really looking for a good performance from Carlos Sainz this weekend. And the L of the day is gonna go to Lando Norris. First of all, Lando has actually never been an exceptional driver like he is around other circuits with Monaco. I mean, last time around in 2024, he was 0.12 behind Piastri and almost 0.3 behind the pole sitter Leclerc. With that fact being given, I think Norris is going to sit around the P4 area for this weekend. And also from what I've seen people comment under my video, and with this prediction having Lando on P4, people might think that I'm just an avid Lando Norris hater, but I mean, this is just the reality, that this is just how it's looking. So with qualifying being out of the way, let's get into the rule changes that are being applied for this season. So for this weekend, it says all drivers must be required to make at least 2 pit stops during the 25 Monaco Grand Prix. This will both apply to wet and dry conditions. I've looked at the weather conditions and the weather radars, and it doesn't look like it's gonna rain. So we're probably gonna see just a clear race and dry tires. And also every car, if it's still running, must use at least 3 sets of tires in the 78 lap race. So the one stopper strategy is basically out the window this time. I mean, last time around in the 2024 race, we saw just Ferrari and Leclerc win the race with the strategy. They started on the mediums and then just go on to change to the hard tires, and then basically just nursing those tires all the way to the end. So that's not going to be the case anymore. And also these sets must be divided across at least 2 different tire compounds. So you can't just start on, let's say, mediums and then change onto mediums. This is basically what the rule is currently at just a normal race. And they say the aim of the rule is to bring strategy into play more and help make the race more exciting. I mean, I definitely think this is a positive step taken towards making the Monaco Grand Prix more exciting. It's been known as one of the most boring Grand Prix. I mean, like last year we had a banger of an opening 2 laps, I think, and then it's pretty much been a sleep fest, and at the end Charles won it, and then it got excited again. So from 78 laps, around like 70 laps has just been pretty much nothing. So I think by bringing in multiple strategies, I mean, there's definitely no doubt that teams are gonna bring multiple different strategies into the race, either that be an undercut or an overcut, any other strategies. So with that, we've almost basically guaranteed to have better racing, or at least the grid being closer to each other. We also saw in Imola that when you bring different compounds and also different tire strategies, just how good the racing can be if Pirelli brings in multiple tire compounds or multiple different strategies. Contrary to that, we had the Suzuka race this year, which was basically one of the least entertaining races for years, not only the season, in years. And there, the reason was that basically everyone was on the same strategies. They started on the same tires, they even pitted at the same laps and then just went on to have the same race. So I think bringing on different strategies, different tire compounds, more wider choice of strategies will definitely help make the race more entertaining. I mean, at the end of the day, if there's no rain involved in the race, the strategies are probably what will keep the race alive for the viewers. I mean, which means that just more pit stops wins bad news for Ferrari. I mean, they have been cooking lately with the pit stops, I gotta say, and also with the strategies. They actually did a pretty decent job with Hamilton in Imola, but contrary to that, it messed up Leclerc's race a bit. And famously, Ferrari haven't been good with strategies and pit stops in Monaco. Now we go into Sunday, and my predictions for the race, my top three. In P3, I got Charles Leclerc. In P2, I have Max Verstappen. And in P1, I have Oscar Piastri. I mean, yeah, it's pretty boring to have the drivers finish just as how they started, but I mean, that's pretty much Monaco for you. You pretty much don't really see any differences or big changes in grid positions during the race. What I do think will happen is that, I mean, with what we've seen in the last few races, I think Leclerc is not really going to be at the front fighting for the win necessarily. I think it's going to be a good scramble between Piastri and Max, especially towards the end of the race. I think we're going to have a really good battle for the win, but I think at the end, because Monaco is such a difficult track to overtake, I think Oscar Piastri is going to just end up coming up at the top. Then for the W of the day on Sunday, I have Ollie Behrman. Now this prediction isn't really going off any major facts, it's just pure vibes, it's just going by gut feeling. We have seen how good he can be around Monaco. We have seen his fight against Antonelli when they were both in F2 last season. And given also how decent he has been performing at Haas lately, I think we're actually looking at a pretty decent performance from Ollie Behrman this weekend. And for the L of the day, I have Yuki Tsunoda. Now Tsunoda in the last few races, I mean basically since he joined Red Bull, he has been in that lower midfield battle, that P10, P11, P9 kind of battle. And in Monaco, that is the most troublesome area. That is the area you want to avoid the most because, yeah, the most chaos happened around that area. So you want to be out of that. But I think Yuki is probably going to qualify around P10, P11 in Monaco and then probably crash out. Either that be getting taken out by someone or either that be him taking out someone. I think he'll just crash out in the opening laps. And then next we have crashes in the race, and I have put down 3 retirements for the entire race, which is much less than what we had last year. I mean, for any race, the opening laps are possibly the best chance for a driver to make up some positions, and they are going to try that around Monaco, and we have seen that around Monaco. But with Monaco being such an outlier on the calendar, with it being such difficult to drive at the first place, and second of all, such a tight circuit, I think we are going to see some crashes. In this case, 3 drivers retiring out of the race. I mean, we even saw it in the last year's race with Perez and the 2 Haas just crashing out and the 2 Alpines coming together. So it's definitely going to be the case where we see at least 3 drivers crash out and 3 drivers retire this weekend. Oh my god, this is such a dumb prediction. Okay, but anyways, for the next prediction, I have how many clueless celebrities on the grid. Now, Monaco is arguably the most prestigious Grand Prix on the calendar. Each year, they attract many celebrities and many other celebrities, whether that be actors or singers or athletes. We see just many celebrities roaming around on the grid. We see Martin Brundle interviewing them, and also, like, even if they're not interviewed, we also see later on their socials that they have arrived and watched the Monaco Grand Prix. And like pretty much like 90% of the time when they're interviewed by Martin Brundle, they basically have no idea of the race or of Formula One in general. They have no idea who Martin Brundle is. Yeah, yeah, when you're really good at something, you've probably done it your whole life and you didn't really pay attention to sports or motorsports or Formula One. I understand that, but I also think that when you're going or coming into an event, you have to know at least the basics or the base of what's going on there, where you're at, what you're watching. But yeah, I think at the end we are gonna say around 8 celebrities who are clueless or who have no idea what Formula One is on the grid or in Monaco during the race. I think with the new rules coming in, this really is shaping up to be an entertaining Monaco race this time. We really haven't had any kind of entertaining Monaco races since 2022, as I can recall, because 2022 we had a wet race, it was raining. We also accept that I think the new rules is also gonna mix up the grid a lot because of the different strategies and maybe even close up the grid a bit, bring the drivers and teams close together. And also with the fight at the top, seeing 4 teams fight it out at the top, now even 4 if Aston Martin are really actually that good. I think we're gonna see some good battles, not only in Monaco but throughout the year, I think. And also, like, as far as I've seen, it's not gonna rain this weekend, but Monaco weather is never really predictable. It can rain, and we have seen just how good a Monaco race can be if it rains in 2022. So fingers crossed we are going to see a good race this year. And I think with the 26 regulations bringing in smaller cars, I think we are really looking towards a bright future from this point on. And I think the Monaco Grand Prix is no longer going to be that boring Grand Prix from this point on. Well, that is all I had to say for the 2025 Monaco Grand Prix. Do you agree with my predictions? Do you disagree? Let me know of your predictions for the 2025 Monaco Grand Prix down in the comments. And I will see you in the next video.